the Pregame Show, your early morning shot of sports.
Or for you here in the Bay Area, 95.7 The Game, Chase Center. It's going to be an emotional day. It's going to be a day filled with joy for some, sadness for others, and maybe a little bit of mix of both. But I do know this. As I welcome you in at 888-957-9570, that's the number, because we don't want to be talking to you all day. We want to talk to the fans all day, because that's what it's all about. It's Klay Day at 95.7 The Game. It's Klay Day here in the Bay Area, as the Splash Bro himself, the future Hall of Famer, one of the greatest Warriors of all time, Klay Thompson, returns to Chase Center, returns to the Golden State Warriors, but this time as a member of the Dallas Mavericks, with Luka Doncic as his teammate, with Kyrie Irving as his teammate. Still weird, odd. He'll always be a Splash Brother, but I do wonder where Warriors fans are at, given the hot start and how it went this season, given how things ended up going last season. Yes, you're always going to love Klay Thompson. Yes, he's a Warrior for life. But it did feel like it was time to move on for both parties. So Klay, he got his money, got his contract, and went over to Texas. But there's part of me that feels like, couldn't this be solved? Couldn't this been, rectified at some point during these contract negotiations? Couldn't there be something that could have happened? Or was it just a perfect storm of, everything happening, all the different egos colliding at once? There was injuries, there were hard feelings involved. There was a lot happening. And I was not part of those contract negotiations. I refused to try to get inside the mind of a Klay Thompson. I think a lot of fans try to do that. They try to get inside people's minds, especially athletes, and try to say, oh, this is how he's feeling. This is how this person is. I don't know how he's feeling. I know he's acting cool. I know he's acting calm and collected at the podium when he was asked about his return to Chase Center a few days ago.
Be good to see people that grinded with, obviously, but to me, it's just another regular season game in November. Obviously, there's bigger implications with the NBA Cup, so that's what's on our mind. In my mind, is just to win that, because I haven't been a part of it yet. I know it's young, but it'd be fun to play for that title.
We got an absolute stacked guest list today here at 95.7 The Game. The names are just, there's so many of them. I can't give you an exact name. There's just going to be so many different former players, current players, guys that have played with Klay, front office executives. The list goes on and on and on in regards to the amount of people that Klay Thompson has, touched in their lives. And I know a lot of fans, that was their favorite player. Then they're going to go today and root on Klay Thompson, even though he is in another uniform. And again, we'll have all that coverage leading up to the game right here on 95.7 The Game. We got Steiny, we got Goo, we got Willard, we got Dibbs, both of them broadcasting live at Chase Center. Mavericks, Warriors, tip-off at 7 o'clock, but our coverage of Warriors Live starting at 6 o'clock right here on 95.7 The Game, your home for Golden State Warriors basketball. Again, get there early, arrive there early. They're going to be doing a giveaway for all the fans in attendance. They're giving away Captain Klay boat hats. They're going to be awesome. I've got one at home. Benny loves it. You're going to love it too. Arrive early and just have fun. Again, we got the NBA Cup, baby. There's a little extra layer of juice. Not only is Klay back, and again, my offer still stands, and I would like a little piece of the pie. Just, you got to have T-Pain at halftime at the Lonely Island. Come on, it's so perfect. Or are we overdoing it? Can you overdo something like this? Can you? I mean, our whole station is dedicated to the return of Klay Thompson. The Golden State Warriors, they've been leaning heavy into this. I mean, the guy's a legend. You have to be over the top, if anything. You can't underdo it. See, I always look at a team like the San Francisco Giants. They always did it right. And maybe they lost their way a little bit during the Farhan Zaidi era, but when it came to honoring past legends, hell, players that maybe you don't even think of as legends, but were just upstanding people in the community and maybe had average careers at best with the Giants. But the Giants still would bring them back and make them part of the festivities at times. When you have a legend like a Klay Thompson and a guy that Joe Lacob adores, and I know a lot of people are saying, oh, Joe Lacob, oh, well, he didn't even offer him a contract. Stuff like that. Stop. The Warriors would not be where they are at today without Klay Thompson. Didn't end well. That doesn't mean it didn't start amazingly. And it did. The likes of Mark Jackson, Steve Kerr, Bob Myers, Mike Dunleavy, Joe Lacob, all these guys owe a lot to one Klay Thompson. And here is Klay talking about compartmentalizing, it's a good word, his feelings and the whole captain persona.
Do you think it'll be difficult to kind of compartmentalize just everything that you're probably going to feel going into that arena and actually playing in the game?
No, I don't think so. I've been doing this a long time, and basketball is basketball.
Were you surprised that they're giving out the captain's hats?
I guess it's a good thing for the fans, so kudos to them.
He's going to be short. He's going to be sweet. Hey, I get it. You don't want those feelings to leak out. You're the opponent now. You're the opposition. All right? You kind of got to play these things down so it doesn't overwhelm you when the time comes. And maybe he will be overwhelmed with emotion. I don't know how he's going to be. I don't know how Steph's going to be. I don't know how Draymond's going to be, Steve Kerr, all these guys. Joe Lacob on the court. I don't know. Here's Kerr yesterday on with Willard and Dibbs for his weekly interview, courtesy of the River Islands guest line, talking about Klay, maybe playing down those emotions.
For me, someone who bounced around and wasn't anywhere close to the player Klay was. I mean, every single one of those games is special when you go back and play your old team and play in front of your old fans. And so he's going to be juiced. He's going to be excited and fired up. And I think there's a reason he said that. He's trying to clear his mind and get centered and come out and play a great game. And there's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot on him and a lot on us, and it's definitely a different night and an emotional night, and everybody has to do whatever they have to do to settle in and play well.
We'll hear more from Klay and Kerr, but I wanted to play this interview because yesterday, Hall of Famer and current head coach of the Dallas Mavericks, Jason Kidd, joined Bonta and Chasky. A tremendous interview, and I want to replay it for you all this morning. So without further ado, Jason Kidd, J. Kidd, joining the Morning Roast yesterday, talking about Klay Thompson's return to the Bay.
A Bay Area legend on the line here on the River Islands guest line, Jason Kidd, the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks. And he's one of our own. We always forget he's from the Bay, from Oakland, California, the NBA champ back in 2011. Multiple All-Stars, 10 of them to be exact. An All-NBA first team 5 times, second team, Cal Berkeley legend. Jason Kidd, good morning, man. Welcome to the Morning Roast. Joe Shasky, the Butcher, Bonta Hill. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I know it's tough during the season, especially after a game yesterday in Denver, but we appreciate you spending some time with us this morning.
I appreciate you guys having me. Anything for the Bay.
Anything for the Yep. Go. And what is it like for you to return to the Bay all the time, man? People forget how you put the Bay Area on the map, man. You, Gary Payton, the Pro-Ams at Kezar Pavilion. You are one of us.
Yeah, it's always great to come home. It's a little rainy today, but it's always good to see the Bay Bridge. It's always good to see family and friends. And then also, whenever I do come back, we're always playing the Warriors. If they're not winning a championship, they always are a team that's fighting for a championship. So it'll be fun. As you brought up, Klay's first time back, so we're excited to be here and have practice today, and then we'll play the game tomorrow.
Yeah. B, you didn't reference his time at St. Joe's, where he was just an absolute legend.
Two-time California Mr. Basketball, of course.
Just an absolute legend. You were pretty much everybody's favorite non-Warrior outside of the Warriors. Like, everybody loved watching you play. And you've done some great things for girls basketball in this area. Obviously, you and Armando and what used to be Golden City, now it's Jason Kidd and Jason Kidd Select, the team. My niece was playing for you guys for the longest time, Megan. And I love that you are like at that grassroots level for basketball, for the girls game and specifically, and you've done some great work out here. And from the perspective of all the parents and the kids that have been in that program, thank you, Jason.
No, I appreciate that, but I want to say thank you for trusting us with a family member and understanding that we love women's sports. I love women's sports. It's grown. It's got the attention that it needs, and it's continued to grow. But when you talk about what Armando is doing to help run that program, And then also our biggest sponsor, Laughing Monkey, Laughing Monk, that you have the food that you guys are having breakfast. I'm jealous. But it's exciting because I think the young ladies in the Bay Area, last year, the teams went over to Croatia to play this next summer. They'll be going to Greece. And so we're just trying to give them the light of the world, of being able to see different parts of the world and play the game of basketball that we all love.
And Jason, you mentioned your select program. Over 40 Division I players came from your program. It's really, truly remarkable. You're sending them not only to the next level, they're getting the education. And as you just mentioned, they get to travel the world. And now we have the Jason Kidd Invitational at Haas Pavilion, December 14th. And Laughing Monk will be a sponsor for that Invitational. So I want to know from the grassroots, what made you involved or what got you going when it came to girls basketball, especially high school girls basketball?
Yeah, I think when you think about Kobe and what he was doing for the women's game, and unfortunately the passing of Kobe, I just felt that I wanted to help and continue his legacy and help women's sports. And so that really ignited the idea of the select team here in the Bay and doing it back at home. And so that's where it all started. And again, it's been 5 years, as you brought up the invitation at Cal. And so we're just trying to do as much as we can to give the women the opportunity to go to school and fulfill their dream. And if that's playing in the WNBA or becoming the next president of the United States or the next doctor. So it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, you're now coaching Klay Thompson and all the Dallas Mavericks and been there for a couple of years now. And B and I were just kind of kicking it around. Like, Dwight Clark was beloved and a legend, and he only played for the Niners. Montana didn't come back to Candlestick and play at Candlestick. And Jerry Rice, when he went to the Raiders, he played the games in Oakland but never had a road game. This is so unique, having a legend like Klay Thompson that is beloved by Warrior fans come back while he's playing in another uniform and playing one of the homes that he built, which is Chase Center. Have you had a chance to kind of talk to him about what it might be like for him walking into that arena and hearing and seeing all the fans, giving him a standing ovation that he deserves?
Yeah, we talked the other day about this opportunity. It really doesn't happen a lot. When you do leave a team that you've been with your whole career, to have the opportunity to come back and play, as you brought up, the home that he built with Chase, and then also the excitement and the championships over in Oakland at the Coliseum. And so just understanding it's going to be an emotional 2 days here when you talk about today with practice and then tomorrow's game. And so my thoughts was to enjoy it, to embrace it, and have fun with it.
Jason Kidd here on the River Islands Guest Line on Morning Ross on 95.7 The Game. Joe Shasky, the Butcher, Bonte Hill, and Jason. When you did court Klay Thompson and you guys signed Klay Thompson, I remember thinking, damn, he's going to see so many wide open looks playing off of Luka and Kyrie Irving. What has he been like in Dallas? Because he's a free spirit out here. We love Captain Klay. We loved Rocco Klay. We love China Klay. We had all these different nicknames for him. How's he integrated with this new team here with Luka and Kyrie at the head of the snake here, Gafford there, and, of course, you coaching?
Yeah, I think he's done an incredible job. As when you talk about Luka and Kai, two of the best in the league, and now we add Klay, and I think Klay is a perfect fit for us. He's finding his way. Those two are making sure that he's getting touches and making sure that he's comfortable, and it just takes time. And I think as we go through here, we've had 2 games that have come down to the last shot. And so we're going through, some battles, and we're learning each other. But I think Klay's a champion. He's been there before. He understands it's a marathon. It's not just 1 game or 2 games, but it's 82. And we're very lucky to have his leadership and his ability to shoot it, but also to be able to defend and help take some of the pressure off of Klay and Kai.
This generation of basketball players is so different from when you played, Jason, and a lot of people do it for the clicks or whatnot. How refreshing is it to have a player like Luka, Kyrie, and then you add in Klay Thompson, who's all about ball. Klay's all about getting buckets and playing ball at the highest level. How refreshing is that for you as a coach? Because it seems like he's not a high-maintenance type of guy, right?
No, they're pros. All three of those guys you just mentioned are pros. They're about winning. They have one goal in mind, that's to win a championship. And so, understanding that they're not high maintenance, they're about doing their work and finding a way to win.
As a lover of sports in general, there's so many great combos, Gronk and Brady, or, Joe and Jerry, Pippen and Jordan. Let's just stick with basketball. Steph and Klay, like when they were together, it's as good of a combo. Clearly as a backcourt combo, but like Jordan Pippen, Kobe and Shaq, LeBron and Dwayne Wade, like are they up there with those combinations when they were together?
Yeah, they're definitely up there with those combinations. You talk about the Splash Brothers, just the uniqueness of how they played the game, how they played for one another and helped each other achieve the highest goals, and that's to win a championship. And so two of the best shooters of all time to be on the same team is unique in its own right. But they loved to play. They knew how to win. They learned how to win. And so, yes, that combination will go down as one of the best combinations in the NBA.
What was more impressive to you? And there's no wrong answer here, Coach, but 37 points in a quarter or 60 points on 11 dribbles, Klay Thompson?
I take both of them any day.
Have you ever scored 37 and a half, Jason? That's what I know. This guy scored 37 and a quarter. Wilt, in his 100-point game, Chris Mullen on the pregame show, he says, Wilt he didn't even score 37 and a quarter when he had 100. Have you ever scored 37 and a half, Jay?
No, that's impressive, right? The 37, but I think the dribble, being able to not have to dribble to score is kind of special in its own right. And so, but both of them are incredible feats. And as I said, as a coach, I'll take both of those.
Draymond's he's got his podcast and he says a lot of stuff about how, obviously everyone's going to get emotional and they're going to honor Klay. Then when the ball gets tipped up, we got to play, we got to play. And everybody brings up Kobe running through Paul Gasol at the USA Dream Team or Redeem Team a few years back. Did you ever have a teammate that you went to another team and you and him had maybe an altercation on the floor?
I haven't, but I understand that, Draymond used that reference of Kobe, and I was Kobe's teammate on that Dream Team or
on the Redeem
team. Yeah, the Redeem Team. And so just understand Kobe said it and we didn't believe it, but he did it. and he knew exactly what play they were going to run, and he did it. But, Kobe was, he was on a mission. He wanted to win a gold medal, and Spain was in our way, and so he wanted to make sure he sent the message that we're friends, but right now you're the enemy, and I'm here to try to find a way to win, and I'll do whatever it takes.
And knowing Klay Thompson, Coach, that he's going to have that same mentality as well. It's like once the ball gets tipped off, I love all the Captain Klay has, but I'm trying to hit 5 threes on you in the first quarter. We're trying to get a win and get our season back on track here. What do you remember about going to your former teams? Obviously, you get drafted by the Dallas Mavericks, and you guys had a lot of expectations. A young core with Jamal Mashburn and Jim Jackson, but what was it like going back to Dallas? What was it like going back to Phoenix? Do you remember the first time going back to a former team, Coach?
Yeah, it was. It's emotional because you always think you're going to be there forever, and unfortunately, business sometimes gets in the way, and things change. But I think you guys brought up a good point. There are emotions, but once the ball goes up, you're trying to figure out how to get the W, how to play your best game, and then have fun doing it, and then be able to talk to some of the people that you spent a lot of time with after the game.
I'm watching your team from afar last year. You guys made some great deadline acquisitions, and you did a great job kind of implementing things on the fly. It just felt like you were a totally different team making your way all the way to the finals. What was the hardest part in incorporating Kyrie and Luka and balancing that out? As a former point guard yourself, like how did you kind of struggle with that and work throughout the year?
Yeah, I don't know if it was a struggle. I think it was more of just patience and giving these two time. They're artists with the ball. They understand how to play the game at a high level. And it was just a matter of being able to have time under their belt to get used to each other. And sometimes we want instant, day one for it to look good or be perfect. But I think when you talk about the sport or human element, it just takes time. And once they figured each other out, they took off. And that was a big reason what helped us, get to the finals last year. And we believe, that's kind of the space we are right now with Klay. Just give us a little time, and we're going to get these three on the same page, and we're going to roll.
Jason, hey, now you jog my memory here because I do want to get back to the Jason Kidd Select program and what you have going on with that. And we have some thank yous that I want to read off for you. Yeah, but you brought us up last year. It was so funny, the clip. We played it on our pregame show where you asked the reporter, you go, do you guys ever write anything good about us? Like, do we celebrate? And we always talk about this on this show. When the Niners lose, our phone lines are packed. Everybody wants to rip everybody. Everybody wants to fire everybody. There's all this instant gratification, and there's no perspective here. But yet when they win, they won. Great. What is it about the way the game is covered out? Because we see the ratings, and I love the NBA. Shasky loves the NBA. But it is the way it's covered where everybody wants to pick apart everything and saying, hey, if this guy doesn't win the championship, he's a bum. Or if this team doesn't win here, they're done. What happened to perspective in the sports world, Coach? Can you figure that one out?
No, I don't even want to touch that. I think when you just, everybody has the right to their opinion, but again, the league is so talented, and there are some really good teams, and we ran into one last year in Boston. But Golden State, Oklahoma City, Minnesota, there's stars on every team, and understanding if you're playing your best basketball at the right time, you have a chance. But there's no guarantee to anyone to win a championship. You got to go earn it. You got to go take it. But I think that's what makes sports fun is that everybody has an opinion, and a lot of times some people are right, and a lot of times on the other side of that coin, people are wrong. And so I think that's what makes sport as a fan, and that's why we play it.
Yeah, I don't think people appreciate the greatness enough on a day-to-day basis that you athletes here, especially in the NBA, that you guys do on a consistent basis with all the traveling, all the games, going into Rockets arenas or whatnot. The game's played at the highest level it's ever been at. So I do want to read some thank yous here, Coach, and we appreciate the time again. Jason Kidd here on the Morning Roast on the River Islands guest line. Guy from Sonoma, Lee in Fairfield, says he won a contest several years ago on another radio station that allowed his son to attend the Jason Kidd basketball camp in Sonoma. He said he never got the chance to thank him for saving my son from going in the wrong direction. Jason is the best, and he can't thank him enough. And so that's one thank you from a camp you had 7 years ago. And I think with these young ladies, you're doing the same thing, Coach. So I think you should pat yourself on the back for that because Jason Kidd Select is saving a lot of lives.
Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you. We need to do another camp in Sonoma. That was a great camp. But it's not just me, but it takes a lot of people to make this happen. And so Armando, when you talk about Laughing Monk, our biggest sponsor, they're the people that we should thank because they're the ones that do it, but also the parents for trusting us with their young ones to push them and also to tell them the truth. And it's all about hard work. And if you do that, good things will happen.
Coach, I'm going to go way back in the yesteryear. Obviously, everyone's going to talk about the behind-the-back plays against Duke and you guys knocking them off. I'm going to go even more local. I remember when it was rumored you were coming out to the Pro-Am out at Kezar, and my boy Reggie Milligan was working the board, and all of us kids, you were our favorite player, and you came out. There was like Brian Shaw, Bennett Davidson. I believe a young Eddie House might have been out there.
Antonio Davis was out there.
There were so many guys. Like the Pro-Am and playing at Kezar. Did you realize how big of a thing it was for an NBA superstar and co-rookie of the year like yourself to like show up and dominate the Pro-Am? Because that was like some of the coolest stuff I've ever seen as a young man. It formulated my love of the game of basketball.
Well, I used to love playing at Kezar. I thought that was incredible because the fans that would come out. Trail Hill was another favorite one of mine to be able to go on the hill and play. And so I love to play basketball. I love the competition. But the fans came out for sure for the Pro-Am. And it was nothing like playing in the Pro-Am in the summer in San Francisco.
No doubt.
What about the boat? Have you had a chance to get on Klay's boat?
Well, Klay doesn't have a boat in Dallas, right? Because you guys only have lakes out there. Tell us about the Texas life of Klay Thompson.
Yeah, we only have lakes, so I have not been on the Klay boat yet, but at some point.
We got to get Klay to get on the boat for tomorrow's game. Or you allow that, Coach? He's like, no, we're all on the team bus. I'm making sure you get to safe and sound. Navigate the Bay Area waters here, Coach. Come on now.
I'm gonna stay on land and not wave this place boat as it goes by.
Last one before we get you out again. We thank you for the time with the Jason Kidd Select program. Don't forget about the Jason Kidd Invitational at Haas Pavilion, December 14th. Laughing Monk will be sponsoring that. They have breakfast for us today, and we love them for coming up from Sunnyvale this morning. But the women's game, the girls' game, it feels like it's at an all-time high, and it's only getting better, Coach. I was going to ask you whether or not you had plans on maybe after your NBA career, maybe you're coaching women's basketball or whatnot, but where the game is going and where it can go. Can you talk about the growth of the women's game?
Yeah, I think when you talk about the women's game, the growth is incredible. The platforms that they are on, the viewership. When you talk about the highest level of the WNBA, they've added a team here in San Francisco that will be online. And then I think you have Toronto and I think Portland.
Yeah, Portland, yep.
Yes, coming online here in the next couple of years. And so it just shows the growth, not just in women's basketball, but also in soccer. And it's great for our country, but for our young ladies to have an opportunity to play the game at the highest level without having to go abroad. And so I think it's great.
Coach, this was great. It's always fun talking to you. We love you here in the Bay Area. Yep. This will always be your home. You know that. Just good luck for the rest of the season, except for tomorrow. You know, we're still Dub fans, but we want Klay to do well, and we do like watching Mavericks basketball. Man. You guys are much watched on NBA League Pass. So, Coach, thanks for the time today. Good luck the rest of the season.
I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Jason Kidd on yesterday with the Morning Roast. We're going to take a quick break. Come on back. One more. Check that. One segment down. Two more to go here on the pregame show before handing it off to Bonta Hill and Joe Shasky. It's Klay Day here on 95.7 The Game, and you're going to have 3 opportunities today to win a Klay Thompson Golden State Warriors jersey. I'll explain that on the other side as the pregame show Joe Spadoni rolls on 95.7 The Game.
Klay Thompson is coming back to the Bay.
Bay Area, it's Brandon Pajemski. You're listening to the Pregame Show with Joe Spadoni on 95.7 The Game.
With the 11th pick in the 2011 NBA Draft, the Golden State Warriors select Klay Thompson from Washington State University.
God, feels like yesterday and forever ago at the same time. Klay Day, 95.7 The Game. Klay Thompson returning as a member of the Dallas Mavericks. His first time as a non-member of the Golden State Warriors at Chase Center tonight. We're going to be locked and loaded all day right here on 95.7 The Game. Don't go anywhere for your Klay Thompson, your Klay Day coverage, because we're going to be all over it. Steiny and Goo, Willard and Dibbs is going to be broadcasting live from Chase Center leading up to the game. And you have 3 opportunities today to win a Klay Thompson Golden State Warriors jersey. Just be listening all day long. 8 o'clock hour, 12 o'clock hour, 4 o'clock hour, right here on 95.7 The Game. So you got to be listening to all the shows if you want a Klay Thompson jersey. All right, last segment, we heard from his current head coach, Jason Kidd, Bay Area legend. Let's hear from his former head coach, Steve Kerr, on his fit in Dallas.
Oh, man, he's a great fit. I mean, he gets to play next to 2 of the great shot creators on earth. There's a reason they went after him. I mean, they knew he would fit perfectly next to those guys. And, I was watching their game against Phoenix today, and you just see how many openings he has as a result of playing next to those guys and also having lob threats. You remember how well he played with Trace, last year coming off pin downs, and what a good passer Klay was, hitting Trace for easy buckets at the rim. So, Dallas can use him a lot of different ways, but he's definitely a great fit.
888-957-9570. What are you looking forward to the most with Klay Thompson returning today? What is your favorite Klay memory? Simple as that. What's your favorite Klay Thompson memory as a Golden State Warrior? 888-957-9570. And again, all of you going to the game tonight at Chase Center, and it is an NBA Cup group stage game. So they got the cool court out there and everything. But if you go to attendance, you get this cool little hat that I'm wearing right now. Follow me on Twitch, Twitter, or YouTube, and you can see it. I'm not really wearing it well, but putting it over my headphones. It's a Captain Klay hat. Warriors, it's fun. Hey, go out there, go get it. Get there early because it's going to be packed. And thankfully, there's not going to be any rain. Knock on wood, because, God, it was ugly yesterday. It was gross. And then it cleared up. I was scooting around, too. I almost saw my life flash before my eyes yesterday, Sammy. I almost had a big accident yesterday. Those palm tree fronds, whatever they're called, fronds, right? Is that like Franz Wagner? Yeah. But, almost got me. Chris is out in San Jose. He wants to join in on the Klay Thompson conversation. 888-957-9570. I was right. It was a frond. Chris, what's going on, man? How you feeling today? It's Klay Day. You should be feeling pretty good, right? This is a Splash Brother. This is a multi-time champion, one of the greatest Warriors of all time, and he's coming home, right?
Hey, Spadoni. Before I get into Klay, it's great couple of wins over the weekend. I went out to dinner with the family, Friday night, and I blinked, and I was like, all right, well, I guess I don't really have to pay attention to the second half of that Cleveland game, so, whatever. That's tough, but you beat Boston without Jaylen Brown. Chet Holmgren goes down. He's killed us before. But, hey, you get out there, you play team ball, you keep the good vibes going, you get a couple of wins against 2 of the 3 best teams in the NBA. Klay Thompson, welcome back. You're legendary. We love you. I hope you don't put your foot in your mouth too much so that we end up, keeping that. Hey, they might hang the jersey tonight, but I don't know. Klay, my favorite moment of him, it had to be the 37 1/4. I mean, the way he was double pumping in the corner, just ungodly hot. I've never seen anybody as hot in a pickup game. I've never seen anybody as hot shooting layups uncontested. You know what I mean? He gives us so many memories. But in the vein of Klay Thompson's attitude, we're now the opponent, right? This recent interview, he's talking, he's nonchalant. It doesn't mean anything to me. Basically short of saying, I don't care about those guys. I haven't talked to Steph. I haven't talked to Dre. The nonchalant attitude and the pettiness, the immatureness, that kind of personifies the disconnect with Klay's mentality over the last couple of years. And I mean, really, to break it down, immature is the best way that I can describe it. So, Klay, you know what? One of the reasons we got rid of you is because of your attitude, your lack of defending, and your lack of ability to create space and create your own shot anymore. Even when you're open, you're missing a lot of the open ones. By the way, he's under 14 points per game with 35% shooting. All those open looks he's getting, it hasn't amounted to much. There hasn't been much fruition to that yet. So, Klay, I don't want to give you an inch tonight. I want to dominate you. I want to attack you when you're guarding me defensively. You're just another opponent, right? I want to dog you because guess what? You are the weakness on the Dallas Mavericks team. You are a big weakness. So I'm ready for it. I'm going to be cheering for him. I'm not going to be cheering as much based off his attitude, but I want to, you know what? Not literally, but I want to go out there and kill that dude. I want them to dominate. Let's have a great Tuesday and get a W tonight, Spadoni. Have a good one, buddy.
Damn, that's a walk-off. That's Chris in San Jose. Tell me how you really feel. He went through all that and was like, I'm going to be rooting for the guy still.
Is he, though?
I don't think so, Sam. Man, you know what? I asked the question, though, because I do believe, and I don't think Chris represents the entire fan base, but the comments over the last year, people might say an attitude problem from one Klay Thompson, rubbed some fans the wrong way. Now, listen, I've already played his comments from this morning, and Chris seems to have taken them in a negative light and saying, this guy's immature, this guy doesn't get it, he's poo-pooing the whole thing. Well, maybe he's just trying to guard himself. Maybe that's just how it's coming off. Again, I'm not trying to psychoanalyze the guy. All I know is what happened. The guy had two major injuries. And having just one of those, whether it's an ACL or an Achilles, could ruin a career, let alone having two of them still coming back, contributing at a high level and contributing to a championship win. That's what Klay Thompson did. That's how I'm going to remember his final career arc with the Golden State Warriors. Yes, it ended poorly. Yes, it ended with an offer in Sacramento in a play-in tournament situation. Not great. But you know what? It didn't end well for Michael Jordan's career. Played for the Washington Wizards. Wasn't great. All right? Shaquille O'Neal played on like 5 different teams. What's the Celtic? You kidding me? Shaq was a Celtic? Ugh. Right? Like, it doesn't always end the way you want it to. Doesn't mean you have to forget all the good stuff that led up to that point. I'm going to take a break here. Jonathan in San Jose, I see you. I'm going to get you on the other side. 888-957-9570. What are some of the emotions you're feeling with Klay Thompson returning tonight to Chase Center? It is Klay Day right here on 95.7 The Game, so be locked and loaded all day for the Klay Thompson Golden State Warriors Dallas Maverick coverage. Tip-off at 7 o'clock right here on 95.7 The Game. Warriors Live, that pregame show starting at 6 right here on 95.7 The Game. And again, Klay Thompson memories. What do you got? As the pregame show, Joe Spadoni rolls on 95.7 The Game.
Neuropathy can be a dark place with constant pain and suffering. Symptoms can include numbness, pain, tingling in your hands, legs, and feet.
95.7 The Game.
Thanks, Moses. You think Moses Moody and Jake Moody hang out? I think Moses sent him a text like, hey, don't worry about Debo. He can be like that, dude. Just, you're good. Good job on the kick. Now, am I reaching there? It's fine. We got 2 segments down, 1 more to go here on the pregame show. Joe Spadoni. Before handing it off to Bonte Hill and Joe Shiasky, they're fired up. It is Klay Day here on 95.7 The Game. 3 opportunities all day long to win a Klay Thompson Golden State Warriors jersey. Be listening in the 8 o'clock hour, the 12 o'clock hour, and the 4 o'clock hour. So every single show, you got to be listening if you want a chance to win a Klay Thompson Golden State Warriors jersey. We're talking Klay Thompson memories. Chris in San Jose brought 37 points in a quarter. You know what? Before I get to Jonathan in San Jose, I actually have a montage of that quarter because someone was nice enough to cut it up here on 95.7 The Game. Hey, I believe this is Bob Fitzgerald and Jim Barnett on the call.
Klay 3. Yes, sir! Oh, man! Klay driving again. Good! Oh, you're kidding me! Get it to him again. He's got it. His 3. Have you ever seen anything like it? Him again. Klay again, his 3. If you're wondering what the NBA record is for most points in a quarter, you just watched it. George Gervin at 33 and a quarter. And Klay Thompson has 50 and 37 in a quarter. Klay Thompson, I'm going to repeat that, 37 in a quarter.
Absolutely insane. That was on January 23rd, 2015. God, time flies. Absolutely does. And it's kind of wild that it was against the Sacramento Kings, and maybe it was poetic in a way, or maybe I'm reaching. I tend to do that. But 37 points in 1 quarter against the Kings in his last career game as a Golden State Warrior, he went 0 for against the Sacramento Kings. The duality of man, right? Shout out Private Joker, Full Metal Jacket. Jonathan is out in San Jose. He wants to join on the conversation. Klay Thompson returning to Golden State today, but he's a member of the Dallas Mavericks. What's going on, Jonathan? You're on the pregame show.
Good morning, Spadoni. I just want to use a word that I think a lot of people haven't used. I know frustration, mad, even sad, hurt. I think I'm looking for the word hurt. And I think it was, coming off of like you just played, I getting sad just listening to it. Maybe we're just getting old, Spadoni, huh? But memories. And seeing that and hearing that, that brings me to why we love Klay. And I think once Klay got hurt, we didn't get our Klay. We had to wait for healing and being better. And once he did, he just didn't get to being himself. And that hurt. And watching him not be happy Klay, because basketball Klay, that's who Klay is. And ever since his injury, it seems like that's his bitter double-edged sword, if you will. And, it just wasn't the Klay we, knew, but it's still the Klay we loved. And I think the fans are taking what went on between him and the Golden State Warriors personal because they ask him Warrior questions. They don't ask, hey, Klay, you still love the fans? And I'm sure if somebody did, he would say, hell yeah. But I'm sorry about that ratio. But my point is I think we got to stop taking it personal. Let's welcome Klay back. Let's be the fans that we are. Let's be the classy Golden State Warriors. And let's stand up and give that man his cookies and his flowers because he deserves it. And we got to stop taking it personal. That's all I got, Spadoni. Go Warriors.
There you go. I love that perspective from Jonathan in San Jose. Real Warriors fan right there. And listen, I'm not throwing shade at Chris in San Jose. He called in last segment saying he's not a real Warriors fan. A lot of Warriors fans feel how Chris in San Jose feels. A lot of them feel like Jonathan in San Jose feels. There's that, it's separating the art from the artist, if you will, at times, and not to go too heavy into that. analogy, if you will. But again, if you've never been a professional athlete, if you've never gone through what Klay Thompson has gone through, don't try to get in his head. Don't try to just, psychoanalyze the player, the person. Like, yes, you can see the frustration at times. It was palpable. You heard him in the post game. You heard the emotion in his voice at times last year. You could see him pressing at times. When you have a team meeting, a player meeting early on in the season to talk about a shot selection from one of your all-time greats, that can't feel good. And he's feeling some type of way. This happens with legends. Did you guys watch The Last Dance with Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen? I mean, that's kind of the comp I'm going here with. If Steph is Michael Jordan, Klay Thompson's Scottie Pippen. And thankfully, Klay's contracts were a lot better than Scottie's back then. But the way they are viewed, and I don't think Klay ever, dogged it on a play or benched himself or in a situation like that, like Scottie did. No. But, stuff like that didn't endear Scottie well to the fan base. But he's an all-time legend, and time moves past, and you look at the down portions of people's career. If that's the worst that Klay Thompson did, as a member of the Golden State, the worst thing he did was be a little moody at times. I'm not going Moses or Jake, but just be a little, just short, grumpy. That I can live with that, because there's been players, especially here in the Bay Area, that have done far worse than that. Hell, even after their professional careers. We don't have to get into all that, but if that's the worst that Klay did in the Golden State Warriors uniform, is him being a little grumpy at times and being short and, not wanting to come off the bench, that's okay with me. That's all right. 888-957-9570. We got a couple minutes here left on the program if you want to jump in your favorite Klay Thompson memories. And you know what? Here's another one. Game 6 Klay. This from May 28th, 2016. 8 freaking years ago. Game 6 Klay was born.
Green to Klay Thompson. Where do you base him? But Klay fires away. He's got another three. It's an NBA record 10 threes in a playoff game. 96-92. He's got 36. Westbrook stumbles with a dribble, almost falls down. Stripped by Andre and stolen. Iguodala to Thompson. Right side three for the lead. Got it! Golden State leads with 1:35 to go. It's 104-101. Klay Thompson has 11 threes in the game.
Tim Roy right here on your home for Golden State Warriors basketball, 95.7 The Game, and I'm sure Tim will also go down memory lane tonight. Warriors live again right here, 95.7 The Game, starting at 6, tip-off at 7, and Tim, yes, I'm sure he'll be emotional as well, because it's going to be an emotional time for everyone involved. Klay, Steph, Steve, the fans, everyone, and again, get there early, because Captain Klay hats, everyone's going to get one if you are going to the game, and you can see it right here on YouTube. I'm going to take this next call blind that's calling in, and we're going to see where it goes. So I'm talking to someone right now from the 415, and you're on the pregame show. Who do I got here? Who do I got?
This is Ray in San Francisco. How you guys doing today?
What's up, Ray? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. My favorite Klay Thompson memory is his 37-point quarter against the Sacramento Kings. Third quarter, I believe it was an away game. And, man, that was the greatest display of basketball acumen I have ever seen in my life. This man could not miss. He went 13 for 13 in a single quarter. No one could shoot it like that. Not MJ, not Steph, no one ever. Bro, that dude was on fire. Anyway, I got to go. I'll catch you guys later.
There you go. That's Ray in San Francisco. He's got to go. He's got things to do at 5:55 a.m. Come on. And again, good morning to all you lovely people just getting off work, getting ready for work, getting ready for school. It is a Tuesday here in the Bay. It's officially being dubbed Klay Day on 95.7 The Game. So we got a couple on the 37-point quarter. I'm seeing a couple here on the Comcast Business text line. Game 6 Klay against the Thunder. I'm seeing his NBA record 14 threes at the Chicago Bulls back on October 29th, 2018. And yeah, I think we got that as well.
Klay Thompson now with it, backs up, he'll take a three in the right corner, knocked it down to Thompson, quick release, and a splash! Another three for Klay. He's hit his first three shots. You knew it was coming, and the Warriors lead by 7. Off a down screen, he's open left side, and buries another three! Timeout Chicago. Warriors lead by 10. The slump is over for Klay Thompson, and the whole bench goes out to meet him. Thompson fakes, takes a dribble, and buries another three! Klay Thompson has half of the Warrior points. Thompson drifting right, shoots over Levine, buried another one. Another three for Klay. Right now there should be 2 plays the Warriors should run. Give Klay the ball. Klay, come get the ball. Klay Thompson gets the ball. Left side three. Why not? Why not? Thompson loads up a three and buried it in front of the Warrior bench. He cannot miss. Klay, the trailing three, buried it, money. The net's not even moving. It's not even moving. Back to Klay. It's a corner three, and yes, it is a swish. Ball comes inside. Thompson goes outside, catches and hits a three. Design play right out of the timeout. He just can't miss. Klay Thompson turns, catches, says, no, I'm going to hit a shot, and it's another three. Klay Thompson open three and rattled home another one. Curry, timeline, three-point line, finds Klay, quick release, and a splash! He's tied the NBA record, held by Curry with 13 threes. Right side, Klay takes a dribble, now the three, got it! An NBA record for Klay Thompson, 14 threes. Chicago calls time. And to a man, every player off the Warriors bench congratulates Klay Thompson, who is breaking Steph Curry's record.
And perhaps the most bittersweet moment in the history of the Klay Thompson era in Golden State is going back to 2019 when they're taking on the Toronto Raptors. They're trying to three-peat. Lost Kevin Durant, Achilles, and then, unfortunately, the first of 2 major injuries for Klay Thompson. Tears his ACL in Game 6.
Curry to Thompson. Thompson to the rim. Goes up. He got fouled from behind. Trying to dunk it. Danny Green with the foul. And Thompson's hurt. He's hurt.
His left knee. Tim, he is really hurt.
Danny Green fouled him as he flew in for a dunk. He fouled him from behind. How many more injuries must this team go through?
Oh, I just don't like the way he reacted when he was on the ground.
The ovation you hear right now is for Klay Thompson. He walked down the tunnel and said, no, I'm not going to the locker room. This is Game 6 of the NBA Finals. I'm going to turn around, walk under his own power, got back to the free throw line.
And he sunk his free throws in Klay fashion. All right, that's enough for this show. We'll react. We'll see what happens tonight, tomorrow morning at 5 a.m., but the pregame show for Joe Spadoni, for Klay Thompson. You guys have a good morning. Bonte Hill, Joe Shasky, they're coming up next. Steiny Goo, Willard and Dibbs, live from Chase Center. Be there or be square. Get there early. Klay Day, all day in the Bay. 95.7 The Game.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM in HD1 San Francisco on Odyssey Sports Station. Always live on the free Odyssey app.